Hi, and welcome to Dan's Domain. So today, our domain, or my domain, is my lounge room. And what I'd like to do with this video today is introduce you to what I hope is a recurring character in a lot of my videos. So, come take a look. And there it is. It's a nondescript box, but in it is 40 years of Lego. Yep. So, the contents of this box is all the Lego that our family owns. So it started back in 1975 when I got my first set. I was about 3 or 4 years old, and it's been building up ever since. Now, this is not all the Lego we own, but it's a large portion of it. So in this box is a Lego walk down memory lane. So how about we open it up and we have a bit of a look through it. There we go. So let's have a look. So we've got here a road plate. I have no idea where this came from. I think it came from my sister. So a little bit about a history. So yeah, this set started with me back in the 1970s. And I had it for a very long time. And then my sister, when she came along, she added a few things to it. Then we grew up and the Lego got put away. But then my kids came along as the older sib, and my son first started and he added to it. He got a bit more sets. Then my daughter threw a few things in. Then it went to my sister, who then added more kits when her kid came along. So, yeah, like I said, this covers quite a few decades of collecting Lego. So, for some of you, you may have never actually seen some of what's the contents before. And for some of you, which is what I'm hoping, there's a bit of a trip down memory lane. So as I look in here, let's have a look. Oh. So, one thing you don't do as a kid, but you definitely do as you get older, is you keep the plans. So a little Technic motorbike. Now, a question I want to ask. So this particular little kit, it was only a small kit, but it was sold. You can see the Shell logo down the bottom there. So it was a deal done with Shell. You can see it's numbered. I don't know if you can see that. Number 10. Yeah, so these were actually sold in service stations around Australia. So here's my first question for you. Did this happen anywhere else? You go to a Shell servo and they had Lego there? That'd be kind of interesting. Yeah. Anyway, moving on. All right. This looks like an old book. And it is a very old book. Now, I don't know exactly when this book came out. I think it was in the late 70s, but you don't see these anymore. So this is a trip down memory lane. This is an ideas book. So what it is just nothing but plans that you can use to build other things. All right, so let's have a look. So you can see it's missing the covers and a few front pages. But see, you got sort of like the finishing touches of building a house. So it actually follows a story of two characters. I'll see if I can find a good little photo. This is interesting. So, like, it gives you ideas about how to, let's say, for instance, if you've got all these different type of road plates, different combinations of road plates that you can make for, it's Lego City now, but back in the 1970s, 80s, it was Lego Town. And then it gives you all the different ways you can interlock the plates and still just make it look like it's part of what's your bigger model. Yep. So it just shows you all the different things you can do. And now this is quite unique. Remember, we are talking 30, 40 years ago with Lego, But you can see here, like, you can make Lego buildings more playable, and this is quite innovative back in the 70s, where these little hinges here, so you can actually open up the house and actually make it a more playable kit. So you got a school. There they are. So if I zoom in here, you see these two characters here? So literally the lady in red and this fella here. So this entire book follows them as it tells a story, and it is all very cool. Right. Well, it's cool to a 10-year-old because look. House look familiar? That was the house they were building at the start, and oh no, it's on fire. So you can see fire trucks. So it just shows you how you can play, right? And I don't know if you can see there too, you got the police car, and believe it or not, that's actually meant to be an ambulance. But anyway, build a hospital, build a police station, and yeah, what do you do after your house is burned down? Oh, I've got nowhere to live, so let's go to a circus and make ourselves feel better. Now, this is sort of like an interesting little piece here. So nowadays, you know, if you want different animals, they just give you an animal. So be it Duplo or be it any other kit. But here, if you wanted an elephant, say for example, you had to build an elephant. Here, build a horse. I'm guessing that's a camel. And that's just another version of the elephant. Right. Yeah, so it's all pretty cool. Anyway, we skip forward. They go traveling. And then eventually, if we keep going. Yeah. So, our heroes, they go to the cinema. And while everybody else is watching a movie, they sneak outside where the OG Lego transporter is waiting for them. And they jump in and fly to space. And now you've got space Lego. All right. And it's a similar sort of thing, except this time you're using space Lego. And it gives you all these ideas. And to show you how far back this goes, you'll notice there's only two colors of astronauts. So you've got the white and the red, right? There's no blue, there's no black, there's no yellow. Right, that's it. So this is right at the start of Legoland Space. And the same thing, build a ship. Here's another example. So later on now, like when you have an alien, it's just a minifig with a different plastiformed head. But here, and I want to actually show you by showing you an example. If you want an alien, you have to build one. So let me just show you. So give you some sort of examples. So I just had a bit of a dig through the magic box. And like here's one example of like what you get now. So if you want an alien, they build it. So look, digging through the box, the magic box, and I found a battle droid. All right, so well, most of a battle droid. All right, so you want an alien? There he is. But back in the 70s, yeah, if you wanted to build an alien into your space, then you had to think of something else. So if I just take the body, so there's the body of a red space dude. Take his torso out, turn it around. Put his air tank on back to front, or the right way around, depending on what you think. And now I've got an alien. So this was Lego building back in the day. All right. So, yeah, and there's some good examples there. All right, so let's keep going. Keep going. So that's, I've actually built this kit. I remember building it quite a few times because I just enjoyed building it. Right? The old flying saucer, or what passes as a flying saucer, right? And there's a really good example of how to build an alien. Right. So we follow our heroes, go to an alien planet. And again, there's not necessarily plans for all these, but the whole point is to inspire you to build. Right? Inspire you to use your imagination. This is really how master builders are made. Right? This is another favorite. Trip down memory lane. And eventually, they left space, and finally, Legoland Castle. All right, and that's all it was called, Legoland Castle. And this is where it began. You can see that everything was just plain yellow bricks, very basic dudes. Again, if you wanted to build a cart, you had to build the horse. They didn't have. Hang on, let me just reach in here very quickly. Hear that sound? No, you know. So, now, when you want a horse, you just get a horse. Now, I'm not saying this is better or worse than that. I'm just saying it's different. This is what came first. Yeah. And of course, I'm missing a few bits and pieces. This little castle here, I'll see if I can find it. I used to build Legoland Castle too. And that castle up there, that one I used to build when I was in the castling mood. So yeah. So here we are, looking at what's inside the contents of the box. So pull out the road plates, all the different road plates collected over the years. Different variations. So they started with the grey, then they went with the green. So we've got a T-junction there. Yep. Now, this tends to happen. So this is what happens, and if you're a parent, you've had this happen, it's somebody stepping on it, trying to step over it, and yeah, that's somebody's heel did that. So we got quite a few of that. This is actually from a racing kit. So we got starting blocks there. And yeah, a bit of random drawing on it. I don't even know what the hell that's supposed to be. Looks like a ghost. Somebody stamped it. A few more plates. Right, now, as you get older, like I said, you keep your plans. This is going to be a trip down memory lane for a lot of people. The old Bionicles. So this was, I'm going to go late 90s, early 2000s, because I know this was my son's. So yeah, it was early 2000s he started collecting these. Knight's Kingdom. I think this was one of my son's last kits. Bits and pieces. But beauty of going through this. Here's a kit. Lego Arctic. I don't even know if we've still got all the pieces. Alright. But fair bit of Star Wars. So we've got all these different bits and pieces. Okay, so we have Lego System. We've got the rocket here. Now this is actually technically part of the Lego City, not Legoland Space. But yeah, heaps and heaps and heaps of different kits. Look at that. Here's another ideas book. Now this is actually earlier than the other one, because all the parts are basic. There are no minifigs in here. There are no wing sets in here. Like, this is an airport, right? So this sort of like predates the minifigs. I wonder if I can... I wonder if there's a date. Right. See this? See here? This is what you got before minifigs. And very early Technic. I think this even predates Technic. So, yeah, this is really early Technic. Alright. So, let's clear this stuff out of here. Alright, so here we go. So this is some of the leftover bits and pieces. So this is our collection, and anybody with a keen eye can see examples from different eras of Lego. So what's here? Right at the top, the old Naboo Starfighter. Now remember this, I started building this not that long ago. I think I was with my nephew, and I don't know if I ran out of time or ran out of patience. So now here's the risk when you've got a large pile like this, and there's something I'm going to have to sort out, is you've seen other Lego building videos. Usually they unbox and they open up the bags and they just spread it all over the table, right? And I used to do the same thing, and I always did this with the Legos. So this was my favoriteest toy growing up. This was my Saturday morning. Pull the Legos out, spread it all over the lounge room floor, and just build, right? But can you imagine doing that with a stack like this size? That's a lot of Lego. And that's a lot of Legos to sift through. But we've got some other examples here. So we've got part of the insectoid ship. All right, so this was the rear of it. So insectoids was a part of the Lego space universe. And I think it was... late 90s, early 2000s. So again, this was my son's era. Star Wars fans will recognize what that is. So that's the head of a AT-ST. Right, but it's got the old school jet engines on it. What else we got? Another part of that ship. Bit of Lego castle. There is some Harry Potter in here too. Yay. Yeah, so this is going to take me a while. Here's some of that old school stuff. Look. That goes back a while. Well, that's it for today. If you liked your little trip down memory lane, please remember to hit like and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next video.